Okay, I have the Eachine E130 helicopter out here for the second test flight since we had some weird behavior the first time. I've got a little less wind out here now than I had before. It is 3 to 5. So let's go ahead and arm it and calibrate. Okay, start my timer here. So let's start the motor. Let's do 1 key takeoff. And let's put it in high rate mode. And let's see if we experience the same behavior that we did before. Well, so far, oh, there we go. There, it dropped its tail. Descend a little bit. Yeah, so it seems like, even a little less wind, I mean, 3 to 5 isn't bad. Now let's bring it downwind here and see if it drops its tail again. Well, it didn't drop its tail that time. Get my yaw figured out here. Alright, so let's see. I've got full stick forward going into the wind. And it dropped its tail. Okay, so still have the same abnormal behavior. Let's lose some altitude. Still have the same abnormal behavior that we had before with it just dropping its tail like that. I don't know what that is. Let's go ahead and land it. So I found out, I have the Eachine E129, and you guys, if you've watched that, you know that I've already reviewed the Eachine E129, and it's a very nice little helicopter, well behaved. So I was thinking the other day, I wonder if they changed protocols between the E129 and the E30. So I pulled out the transmitter on the E129, and sure enough, it will bind up to the E130. So just to make sure that it's something wrong with the helicopter and it's not something wrong with the transmitter, I started thinking about that, and I thought, what if it's got a bad pot on the cyclic stick that's causing that, rather than it being something wrong with the gyro. So I'm going to grab the other transmitter, we're going to bind it back up, put it back in the air again, and see if it's a transmitter or if it's the gyro on the helicopter. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm bound up with the Eachine E129 transmitter, and I've already calibrated it, so let's go ahead and arm the motor. 1 key takeoff. Okay, so let's see if we have the same behavior with this transmitter that we had with the other one. This has definitely got to be on low rate. That's going against the wind. And I am not making much progress against a 5-mile-an-hour wind. Okay, so let's go downwind. So far I haven't seen that. It's going to be slow going against the wind here. Very slow going against the wind. Look at that. Oh, I'm going backwards now. Okay, so I don't know how to get it in high rate mode on this one. Barely making any progress, but I have not seen it drop its tail yet. And I'm going full throttle, full forward. Well, not full throttle, but I'm going full forward, now altitude hold, and I have yet to see it drop its tail. That's not saying that it won't. Let's bring it back this way. Got a nice stereo going through here. Alright, there I go, there I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. And with the other transmitter, it would drop its tail whether you were in low rate or you were in high rate. And I have not seen it drop its tail yet. And normally I would definitely see that by now. This is going downwind or crosswind. And I haven't seen it drop its tail. So I'll tell you what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking the pot on the cycle. Oh, there it goes. Never mind. Just as I was getting ready to say it looks like it's the transmitter, there it goes and drops its tail finally. So it is the gyro on the helicopter. I don't know what they changed between the gyro on the E129 and the E130, but it has that strange behavior where it just drops its tail. So it wasn't the transmitter, it is in fact the helicopter. I just wanted to make sure, because I thought, you know, if that has a bad pot on it, that could be the cause, but obviously it's not. So unfortunately, it looks like there's some kind of glitch with the gyro on the E130. Now, after that happened to me, I got online and I did a search for videos where people had flown them outside, and I couldn't find a whole lot of them. There was a lot of people just hovering them around inside, indoors, but you can't really test out the helicopter that way. So I found one other video where the reviewer was flying it outdoors in similar wind to what I have today, and it was still, and his was dropping its tail, just like this one. So it's not just the one that I received. Let's go ahead and drop some altitude. It's not just the one that I received. It seems to be, you know, because his had that issue too. Now, do they all have that issue? I do not know. But I know mine does, and I know that reviewer's helicopter had the same issue. So let's point into the wind here and bring it back down and land it. That's just a shame, because you know that is a nice flying helicopter, and I think that the controls for this one are smoother than they are with the E129. So anyway, second test flight performed, actually third test flight now with a different transmitter with the exact same strange behavior on this helicopter. So I will see you back at the HQ. Okay, so that was a frosty flight. Alright, so I have taken this out twice, and I have flown it at least 5 times, with 2 different transmitters, the stock transmitter that came with it, and the transmitter from the E129, and it showed that strange behavior every time. So, you know, it's a shame because it's such a stable helicopter, and I think that I think for a beginner, I think the controls are actually better, smoother. It's not as fast of a helicopter as the E129. So this is probably the easiest to fly beginning helicopter that I've ever flown. Prior to this, it was the E129, but this one is a slower flying helicopter, very stable, but it has that strange behavior where just all of a sudden it'll just drop its tail. So I don't know what I was hoping for today. You know, I wanted to try the transmitter just to try and troubleshoot it and make sure that it was actually a gyro issue and not a transmitter issue. So it does appear that this has got some gyro issues, and I think I stated during the flight that I had sought out review videos from other reviewers to see if there was a similar issue with one of theirs, and there was. I found one where they, you know, it was doing the same thing. You know, it would just drop its tail. So unfortunately, I cannot recommend this helicopter. You know, if you order one, maybe you'll get one that doesn't have this problem. Maybe you will get one
This one is kind of a buyer beware, you know. So that's my take on it. It's unfortunate. I've got several Eachine products, and this is the first one that I had an issue with. So anyway, that's my review. I've confirmed the issue. It is an actual issue with this helicopter, so I can't recommend it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review, the troubleshooting procedure that I went through. At least we did identify exactly what the issue was. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.